Summerslam just ended, and we have to ask ourselves, well, what just happened? So let's dive into it. The biggest party of the summer, and we open up with what we knew was the first match, Ricochet versus Logan Paul, and needless to say, this was definitely one of the better matches of the entire card, for sure, hands down, bar none. If you saw on the Filthy Casual, Killer Cam said that, can Ricochet, he doesn't believe Ricochet can help carry Logan Paul to a good match. Well, this was good. First of all, I didn't expect this match to go as long as it did. This match went 18 minutes. It went 18 minutes, and this was very, very solid. Started out a little slow, but man, once it picked up, man, these dudes were doing everything under the sun. Ricochet has this nice people elbow style move where instead of going for the elbow drop, he goes for I believe a moonsault. And this was good. Logan Paul stole this one with a brass knuckle shot from one of his peoples. Ricochet went for a 630 Logan Paul move. As the ref was checking on Ricochet, Logan Paul likely gave him brass knucks, which he used to KO Ricochet, and Logan Paul stole this one. This was a great match. This was a really, really great match. The ending sucked, but it was a way to protect Ricochet, and I have no problem with it. You knew Logan Paul was going to win, but this was just really, really good, and I would not be surprised if they do a rematch. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually ended up as a tag team at some point, but they definitely went for a couple high spots. There was a bunch of Spanish flies, but this was good. This was actually one of the better matches on the show. Our second match of the evening was Cody versus Brock Lesnar, and I did not expect this match to be second, but if you watch some of Brock's matches, he sometimes goes on really early, and he just wants to get the fuck out of there. Plus, they're in Detroit. They're not far from Minnesota, where he lives. It happens. So Cody and Brock, man, this was such a Cody match, and again, this is one of the better matches of the evening, and these two dudes really put in some work. Listen, you see one Brock, you've seen all Brock matches at this point, but he essentially dominated this match. Cody had that fighting spirit, fought back time and time again, but Cody took 3 F5s. Germans, the Kimura lock, and he would not stay down. He just wouldn't stay down. And Brock was like, "What is wrong with you? What is just stay down." Cody finally got the upper hand and hit Brock with 3 crossroads. Got the pin. 1, 2, 3. It's good. It was good. The crowd was over. This was Cody's mini feud to set him up for Roman Reigns again. Because Brock and Roman are on the same level, and Cody needed something to get him ready for Roman. This was that. So after the match, right, Brock stood up and he eyed Cody and he started taking off his gloves. I'm like, oh my God, he's about to murder this man. Like, murder this man. He got in Cody's face, forehead to forehead, shook his head, pulled him for a hug, and shook his hand and raised his hand. I'm like, oh, that's all Brock wanted. Brock wanted to fight. Brock wanted to test this dude. And Cody gave it to him. So that's what we got with these two, and this was a totally different style from the opener, but it was effective. Like, Cody really hasn't had a truly bad match since coming back, and it was great. I would have been fine with Cody losing, but surviving and having that fighting spirit, and because he would have still gained something. But this was great. This is setting him up for Roman Reigns. We'll get to that a little bit later. Then we had the Slim Jim Summerslam Battle Royal, and this was fine. It is what it is. LA Knight won, lastly eliminating Sheamus, this was an LA Knight vehicle. We had some storyline stuff with like Grayson Waller and Omos coming back and AJ Styles and Karrion Kross. There was a lot of moving parts here, but this was just a vehicle for LA Knights. And before we continue, you know how we assume that, the show will be over at 11 o'clock? This show was over at midnight. This went 4 hours. So, this went 4 hours, and somehow you couldn't get Becky, Trish, and Rhea on the card. This went 4 hours. And I also wasn't expecting Logan Paul and Ricochet to go 20 minutes. You knew Cody and Brock were going to go long. They went 20 minutes. The Battle Royal went 12 minutes. And then we had Ronda and Shayna. I said how the crowd would make or break this match, and the crowd broke this match. Because for me, I enjoyed this. This was an MMA Rules match. No countouts. It was no rope breaks. It's no pinfalls. It's submissions, tap outs, TKOs, which I love. And the videos they had on Raw really, really, really hyped this match. But ultimately, the crowd, it fell flat. Ronda whooped ass, and these two really hit each other because they know what they're doing. Shayna got the definitive victory, putting Ronda to sleep with the cure for the clutch. Ronda leaned in the corner and soaked, and it was a good win for Baszler. I want more momentum for Shayna. I want more momentum from Shayna. I need Ronda to go away for a little bit and then come back when she's ready. Because I like Ronda Rousey. I'm not one of these haters of Ronda Rousey. And we move on to the Intercontinental Championship match. And inevitably, I were always going to compare this to Gunther's matches with Sheamus, as he was defending the Intercontinental Championship against him. Now he's defending it against Drew McIntyre. And this was a good match. This was fine. It was hard hitting from start to finish. And Drew McIntyre was a formidable opponent for Gunther. But it's just something about Gunther and that big fight feel. And he won. And like in the beginning, all his moves really, his moves that he used to win matches weren't working on Drew. And Drew hit him with everything. Drew hit him with a Claymore after missing the first couple of times. He hit a Future Shock DDT, and nothing wasn't working. So Gunther tried his stuff, the chops, the clotheslines. Nothing worked. So in the end, Gunther hit Drew with a splash, which he's also won matches with, then the clothesline, which he's also won matches with, and then the powerbomb, which he's also won matches with. And finally, he gets the 1-2-3 over Gunther. And like we've kind of figured this was going to happen, and that Gunther ultimately would surpass the Honky Tonk Man for the longest reign Intercontinental Championship singular reign, and it looks like he's probably going to pass the Honky Tonk Man, which is great. Let's break some of these records. So now we have my most disappointing match of the evening. Probably this one really upset me. I'm talking about the World Heavyweight Championship match with Seth Rollins defending against Finn Balor, and I really wanted Finn to win. I was hoping for it. I was praying for it, but it just wasn't meant to be. And Seth is really good with the mind game, so he actually wore the same ring gear that he injured Finn with. Remember when he was facing Roman and he came out to the Shield music, wore the Shield gear? It's great. So Seth's really good at the mind games. He's just, it works. And essentially, that really, really annoyed Finn. So Finn attacked. Finn got him quickly before the bell rang, and that's all well and good. So the match itself, for the first 2/3 of it, was fine. It was a solid affair. And these two are capable of putting on really good matches. So, what happened? I left feeling disappointed. I left feeling upset because we knew what it was going to come down to. We knew that it was going to come down to the rest of the Judgment Day showing up. So of course they're going to get involved. Of course they're going to show up. And Finn really was in control for a lot of this match. So Damian Priest walks down, and we know what's going to happen. He actually ended up cheap shotting Seth. Finn hit a pedigree, and I was like, this is it. It would make so much sense for Finn to win with the pedigree. But Michael Cole telegraphed it because he went with the very obvious, Balor's going to win the championship here. Nope. Priest waved in Dom and Rhea, and the ref, got distracted. Finn's telling Damian plan A. They're not changing the plan. Balor threw the briefcase back at Priest. So now I want to know what was plan A. What was plan A? And they get the plans crossed, and ultimately it cost them because Finn gets hit with the curb stomp on the briefcase, and it's a wrap. And the camera lingers on Damian, and he's got this look, and then Finn glares at Damian. It's like, okay, what is going on here in the Judgment Day? Please, please, please do not break up the Judgment Day. I am wholeheartedly begging you to not break up the Judgment Day. It's all I ask. I just left feeling disappointed. I left feeling a little bit upset. Because what's next? Where can we go? Seth doesn't need the championship. I guess we'll have to wait until Raw to find out. Next up, the WWE Women's Championship. Asuka defending against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. And y'all know what my biggest fear was. Y'all know what my biggest fear is. Which was LOL. Charlotte wins. And again, I left disappointed. That's back-to-back matches with me leaving disappointed. It feels like what they planned sounded better in their heads and looked better on paper, because there were some good spots, but I don't know, it just felt off, and there was just some really bad execution on things, and it mainly involved Charlotte. I'm sorry, and I don't know, it never picked up. You figure with Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca, this match would be a banger, and man, was I sorely mistaken, and it hurts to say that. You know what I mean? It sucks. I really wanted Asuka, and Bianca actually won. Charlotte had Bianca in the figure eight. Asuka spit the mist in Charlotte's face, and she went to kick Bianca. Bianca ducked, rolled up Asuka, and won. 1, 2, 3. Which, that's fine. That's like a good, shocking win. I'm just upset Asuka lost. Now, earlier in the match, there was a really crazy spot where Charlotte pushed Bianca off the top rope, and to us, it looked like her knee hit the steel steps, but you see in the replay, obviously it didn't. But we were doing this injury angle with Bianca and her knee earlier in the match. She was getting taken to the bag, but she made her way back and finished the match, yada, yada, yada. So it was so telegraphed that Io was going to cash in. Match is over. Io and Bayley run out. Bayley hits Charlotte and Bianca with the briefcase. Sky attacks Bianca some more, cashes in, hence the moonsault. 1, 2, 3. We have a new women's champion, a WWE Women's Champion. Dakota Kai came in, and they all celebrated with Io. I'm great with this because here's why I'm great with this. One, y'all know Io, I love Io. Io's my favorite wrestler in the WWE. She's one of the best wrestlers on the planet. The matches we can hopefully get with Io versus Asuka, Io and Bianca, Io and Charlotte. Oh my God, just let her do this. I'm ready. I'm ready for the genius of the Sky. And now we have Tribal Combat, the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. Stupid ass name. Roman Reigns defending against Jey Uso. And in Tribal Combat, this is anything goes. And the second half of this match is way better than the first half of the match. And of course, it's Roman Reigns. So this match went 35 minutes. This match went 35 minutes. You could have cut 10 minutes from this drawing. It probably would have been a banger. And the Roman matches, it's slow, it's plotting, but then it's going to tell the story, and there's emotion, and Solo's going to get involved. And this was everything that we were hoping for, and then came the ending. So throughout the match, Jay's doing whatever. Solo accidentally gets speared from Roman by Roman at one point, so he's upset. So let's move on to that. Jay threw Reigns into the ring and landed a spear. He hit a splash, and the reign is over, right? After fighting the crowd and all of this damage, going through tables and using straps, a hooded figure pulls Jay out of the ring as Jay's about to get the win. I'm like, it's Jimmy. It's Jimmy. And Cole did a really good job of selling this. Jimmy, what did you do? Jay looked at Jimmy like, bro, like, what? So Jimmy walks away. Reigns spears Jay through the table. 1, 2, 3. Roman, Paul, and Solo celebrate. Reigns put the layback on, and Jay looked dejected. So this match did do some really good things. Gave us main event Jey Uso back. It gives Jay something to do, feuding with his brother for some reason. But it also, I think, finally will bring in Rikishi to this story. I think that's where we're going. And Jimmy and Jay can fight. Jimmy can give whatever reason he wants. He'll probably make it sound good. And then Rikishi come in and get his boys back together. And then we move on to something else, which is Solo and Roman, because the tensions were built up there. And I think this is the point where the storyline begins to move to the end game. I still believe the end game ultimately is The Rock versus Roman Reigns. So, but overall for SummerSlam 2023, I'm actually going to give this a C+. This was an okay SummerSlam with only 2 really good matches, and those were the first 2 matches: Logan and Ricochet, and Cody and Brock. Those 2 matches exceeded expectations and pretty much blew everything else out of the water. And that sucks to say, but that's SummerSlam 2023. That is what just happened. Don't forget to check me out on the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and the 215 on Twitter, spelled out. Coffee, Patreon, the Hybrids Wrestling Recap, which is also live today. The Hybrids Wrestling Podcast every Saturday.